Okay, good morning all. Today we are going to discuss that classes in Java. What is the class and why we need the classes and all, and what are the different types of classes we have. We'll discuss those. First, I think we already known related to these classes, right? But we are go in depth related to the class. Okay, right? First, we'll start with that. What is a class and all. I think we know this is a one class, right? We all know the classes, but when we are coming to the OOPS, we have to know classes in depth. Then only you can do the OOPS concept better. So, for that, we'll do practice. Okay. First, we'll see the what is a class, right? Class. Class is nothing but a blueprint. What the mean blueprint means? Uh, Firstly, why we need the classes? Right? Suppose you have to build a house or you have to made one car. Then firstly you are not getting the all parts and you are not making it right. First you are preparing one blueprint or model to that. Then only based on the model you can prepare that the end project like that. That means by using one blueprint or one model or one prototype, you can develop the multiples of objects. The class purpose is that one. By creating one class, you can create the n number of physical entities. That is the purpose for the class, right? Suppose what is a class means actually, it is nothing but a blueprint or template. Template which helps to create physical entities, right? And what the class contains? Mainly the class contains properties and methods. Properties and methods. What is the properties? These are nothing but a fields. Normally properties are the variables only, but when we are come to the class terminology, we are calling it as a fields. Right. Next, what is a method? Methods or properties and methods. Method, we already know that method is a block of code. Like that here the method will be the behavior behavior. Okay. Method is nothing but a behavior of your function. That means suppose take the example of car. Suppose take the example of car or bus or something, one animal. Suppose animal as a dog, right? Example, you can take the dog as a class. Dog as a class. Properties. What the properties it has? This dog has the ears, eyes, legs, skin, right? heart and all, what are the internal needs. Like that, it has the properties. That means one feels. Suppose ears are, how many ears it has? Two, right? Eyes, two. Legs, four. Skin, one, right? Or skin color, suppose black. And go with the breed. Breed will be the German Shepherd. German Shepherd. Like that, properties means it has your variables or fields which indicates your dog class or defines your dog class, right? And methods. Suppose what the behaviors the dog can do. It can eat, right? Eating as a one method, or else running, or else barking, that means sounding, right? Like that, different, etc. You have the different types. That means in the eating behavior, it will perform some action. Your method defines the class actions. Properties defines the class attributes or the values. Okay, this is about the class and what it is. You have to understand one thing is class is only a blueprint, not a physical existence. That means if you want to access any variables or the action methods in a Java, it has to be stored in a memory. But class never stores in a memory until you are creating object for it. Until unless you are creating object for your class, that means you are not creating physical existence to your class. It will not, you are not allowed to access any variables or the methods from the your class, right? It is the thing, it is the class. And the different types of classes we have: final class, abstract class, like that we have the different classes. Abstract class we can see at that time of abstraction concept. In the OOPS pillars, the main pillars we are calling as abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, and encapsulation. In that we can see that abstract classes. Abstract class is nothing but we have different types of classes: concurrent class, types of classes, right? We have the concrete class, concrete class is nothing but suppose it has a method definitions. Suppose it has the method definitions. If your class has the method definitions, then your class is called as a concrete class. Your class contains at least one method definition. Method definition means, that means suppose you are creating one method and writing body for that method, execution for that method, then only you are calling it as a concrete. We will see that what is concrete class. And abstract class. Abstract class means you are only defining the class methods here, but writing the functionality of your methods somewhere else. Observe the thing, you are creating create methods in the class, or declare the methods, create or define methods create or define the methods only, and implement the functionalities somewhere else. Okay, writing the methods in a class but implementing the functionality somewhere else, it is the abstract class. And after that, final class. Final class is if you are creating the final class, that means you cannot inherit to the other class. If you are creating, if create a class is final, then not possible to inherit to other class. What is inherit? We can see in a somewhere, inherit to other class, right? And comes to the static. We already knows the static means that means you are not creating a object for that. You can directly call it, right? Like the static class is also you have, and inner classes. Inner classes, and inner classes also we have a types, and we'll see that inner classes also. First we'll come by one. First with the concrete, right? We can create a class, right? Suppose in the November batch, the com.november, okay. Right click. Normally you can create by using the Eclipse, or you can create by using a normal way also. Wait a minute. Go to the new, create one class. Okay, right. If you observe package, and you have to define here as a class name. Class name, my class name will be the class demo. And if you observe here, it will have the abstract type, final type, static type. Okay, abstract, final, static, and public is the modifiers. We can modifiers is nothing but you can defining the scope for your class. That is the modifiers. We can discuss the modifier later. Public modifier, protected modifier, private modifiers, default modifiers. We have the 4 types. We will see that. And interfaces is one concept. That means you can write your comment description to that. And public static void main. If you observe here, inherited abstract methods. Abstract methods means you are creating method names but generating functionality somewhere else. That is the type. Okay, and you can observe abstract type, final type. I am not creating any abstract and final types. Why? Because if you want to create that one, you have to understand the abstraction concept. At the time of abstraction concept, we can discuss it. Okay. First. Okay, like this it will create, right? One public static void main string, and also suppose normally we are finishing that methods and all, right? Wait a minute. Okay, we all finished that methods and all, right? Suppose void display or welcome. Okay, in this void I can simply print that welcome. It is one action, it is one behavior. Okay, it is one class method. How can we call this method? Normally this is a class. If you want to access the class variables or the class methods, what you have to do? You have to create an object for that. How can you create class? Class demo cd suppose equals to new class demo. Okay. Normally this is called as we are default constructor. It is like a one method only, and we will discuss the constructor in the next class, object and constructors in depth. Then you can understand. Right. cd. Okay, new class demo. cd new class demo is my object. cd is my object here. Okay, cd is my object, class demo is my data type, and I am creating object for that. New means you are allocating memory. Then only you can access that. Simply you can call cd dot welcome. Right. And run this. Wait a minute. Right, welcome it display. Normally this is a class, we are creating object. Okay, we are creating object and call this method. Method is nothing but a action we have to perform. We already know it, but we don't know the terminologies. That's the different. And this is called as a concrete class. Why this is called as a concrete class is because we are creating a method and functionality also in this class only. That means if you are creating the methods and the creating functionalities to that methods also in the same class, then that type of classes will called as a concrete classes. Okay, concrete classes. Suppose if I have to create public int I equals to 10. Okay, int I equals to 10, and suppose here I can pass int a welcome, let's see, right. Okay, here I is my property, welcome is my method. Okay, I is my property, welcome is my method, and I am passing value to my method here. Okay, value to my method, value to my class method. And one concept is there, parameterized constructors and non-parameterized constructors. Constructor passing is different. It is method values passing. Observe this, method values passing. So welcome, I am passing the values. Okay. What was the purpose of the classes we need? That means we are creating a number of objects from that in a single class. Suppose I have here cd. Okay, here I can get the output of welcome 15, right? Welcome 15 I can get the output. Suppose I can run this. Welcome 15 I can get the output. Same way cd1 equals to new class demo of. It is also object for the class, right? But this cd is different, cd1 is different. That means by using a one same blueprint, you can creating the n number of houses. Suppose I am planning for develop a or construct one apartment, I creating one plan, one blueprint for that apartment. Based on that blueprint, I can construct n number of apartments like that. 2, 3, 4, 5, like that, 100 number of objects like that. That is the class usage. The same structure, by using the same template, you can create the n number of entities, n number of physical entities to that. And I can simply call cd1 dot welcome of value I can pass 23. Value I can pass here 23. I can pass welcome 15 and welcome 23. This CD is different, CD1 is different. Likewise, CD dot welcome is different, CD1 dot welcome is different. Okay? By using the, when you are creating the object means, you are creating the class properties and the class methods to this every object. Okay? For the every object you are allocating these properties and the methods. Then cd1.i, cd.i, cd1.i, both are the same. Why? Because I is a constant value here, right? Because of that. Suppose if you are creating or passing the values by using the constructor, then it will be the difficult. Simply we can see another example with a basic constructor. Then you can understand constructors, so we can discuss a lot in the tomorrow. Then you can easily understand. Okay. We'll see basic constructor here. How can we do and all. For that, okay. Suppose I'll comment this. And I'll comment this one also. What else? Okay. Simply what I do, I'll remove this. Constructor. Simply I can tell what is a constructor is. Constructor is nothing but a one block of code. One block of code, but it is with the name of your class name and no return type for your constructor. Okay. Suppose my constructor will be the public class demo. It is one constructor. Okay. This constructor will calls when you are creating an object. Suppose if I click it, then it will redirects here. This is a constructor. Suppose you are not writing this constructor, defaultly your Java program create the constructor. But here I am creating the constructor, then it will override. What is the override? And we will see in the next class what is the public. For a while I am writing this, and here I can passing a value of int a comma int b or a string name. Okay. In this I'll do one thing. Int I equals to int I string name, okay, or int age, then it will be right. Int age string, then age equals to a, and I'll change the names, both are the same, then it will be. So name equals to name. That means suppose for the same here CD and CD, it will be the class demo, right? Okay. Here what you are getting is error. Why? Because it is a class, but I have to pass the values to that. Why? Because I am using the constructor here, but I am not passing any values. Suppose here I can pass 25 comma hello. Then the error will be resolved. That means it will call as basically parameterized constructor. Why? Because we are passing the parameters to that. Because of that, we'll see what is the different types of parameter constructors and all in the next class. For a while, remember this. This is one constructor, we are passing it, and I can create one method, void display. Okay. Void display of simply sysout. Okay. Name plus with age plus age. Okay. Right. Here I can go with the display, and I am not passing anything. Right. For a while I'll comment it. Control question mark. Right. Hello with age 25. Hello with age 25. Now what I am doing is, for the same class I am passing the different values. 50 comma welcome, right? And here I am not passing any value, and I simply call display. Hello with age 25, welcome with age 50. I am using the same class structure but creating the different students or persons or anything. Like this, I can create for the n number of persons with the same class and the same fields of values, right? This will help in your suppose take an example of a college. In the college they have the same fields of the name, age, email, marks and courses and all the same fields, for the same fields but different values. One have the name of Ramesh, Suresh, like that with us different ages, different emails, different marks, different courses. That means the structure is same, but you are changing the values for every person. Then the classes will help to creating such type of scenarios. You can create an object for the Suresh, object for the Ramesh, object for the Kalyan, like that for every student by using the same class. Then you can code reusability and also using the simplicity of the codes and access the different methods for the same student. Okay, right. And why I am writing this, to understand how the classes helps to you in your programming. Okay, that is the thing. And this is the properties, this is the field. Suppose if I have to call sysout, I will do one thing. Here I can call cd dot age, right, and cd1 dot age. Both are the different. cd dot age is different, cd1 dot age is different. Why? Because you are referring to the object, not to the class. So when I calling this cd dot age, I am getting the 25. When I calling this cd1 dot age, I am getting the 50. That means you can segregate for the every entity. Okay, for the blueprint you can segregate for the every entities. That means you can understand, right? This is the, we are calling this as a concrete classes and all. And we have the next inner classes. We have the final class and the abstract class. Final class is nothing but you can see that final class at the time of inheritance. Abstract class also we can see that in at the time of abstractions. Okay. Now we'll see that the inner classes and the static classes. That the static classes also lies in the inner classes only. We'll see that. Okay. This is, I hope everyone understands what is the class and what is the need of the class. How can we create an object and how can we access the properties of the class and the methods of the class. Okay, right. And we'll go with another thing. It was a inner class demo. Okay. Suppose I am taking the example of an ATM. Or inner class, anything. Inner class, I think it will be better to understand. Right. Suppose first one type, we can see the what are the types in the inner classes. Okay. It is. Inner classes are nothing but a class under one class. Class under one class. Right. And we will see the types of inner classes. Okay. In that first one, member inner class or outer inner class or outer inner class. Right. Next, static inner class. Next, local inner class. Next one, it will be local inner class and the thing anonymous. Anonymous inner class. Right. Okay. Right. We'll go one by one. First, we'll see that member inner class. Member inner class is nothing, or member or outer inner class is nothing, but your class will depends on the outer. That means, suppose if you are creating object for your inner class, where you can create main method, right? In the main method only you can create the object for your class. From that main method you can create. Suppose I can write another class here. My class will be the class. That class will be the reader. Sorry. Class reader. And in this I can create one method void display. Void display of sysout. Sysout of suppose I can call it as a member inner class. Normally we are calling as a what are the lies in the under the class, we are calling it as a members. It will be the method or a property, we are calling it as a members. Members are the two types, one will be the properties, one will be the methods. Suppose it is also a one member. It is also one member. You are accessing this member, and that means you are creating one class under this inner class. Right? We will see. Inner classes are nothing but writing the class under one class. Suppose I want to access this display method. How can I access? Suppose if I write this here void display one, void display one, the same thing. Okay, sysout of welcome. How can I access the display one? I can simply create object for this inner class and calling that based on that reference I can calling that display one as a method, right? Then the same way, suppose if I want to create object, how can I create an object for the inner class, right? Inner class, my object will be the in equals to new inner class. Okay, new inner class. New inner class. If you observe, here I am placing the parenthesis. That means it will one method. It is a constructor basically. Constructor also one method. Okay. We are not placing any parenthesis here. Why? Because it is a class. Class is different. Constructor is different. Right. Inner class. Okay. I don't need this, right? Okay, done. I am creating a inner. I can simply call in dot display one. Normally, I know it, right? But I want to call this display. I want to call this display. How can I call this? How can I call this? Normally, it is one member, right? Display one is also one member. This class radar is also one member. Display one is also one member. You are calling display one by using this reference, right? In dot display one. Like this, I can call. I have to create in dot reader. So, in dot reader. Where is the reader? In dot reader. In dot reader, right? That reader will be the RD equals to new, or else sorry. Right. Wait a minute. This is the way you can create object for this inner class. This is the way. RD is the reference for your reader class. That means this reader class or methods or properties you can access by using RD. The syntax is by using the class name. By using the class name, you can access this reader. By using the class name, you can access this reader. And by using this name, by using this reference name, you are allocating. That means in this, normally class is a blueprint. Okay, class is a blueprint. This inner class is one blueprint and this reader is also one blueprint. But if memory was not allocated, if you are creating object for this inner class also, the memory is not allocated for this reader class. Why? Because it is a blueprint, right? So it is not allocate memory for that. That means you are allocating memory inside this memory reference. This inner memory reference, you are creating new memory for this reader class. Understand that? That means for this, this is normally reference or memory to this your inner class. In this inner class, you are allocating. That means suppose imagine the thing. Okay. Suppose it is your inner class. It is your inner class, which is referred by the IN. Okay, IN location. In this location, this inner class only contains the reader. Okay. This inner class only contains the reader, but reader is also one class. For the class, if memory was allocated when the object is created only. That means if you are creating into this, but not reader class memory not created. For this is in reverse. In this in, you are creating a memory to this RD. Okay, RD equals to in dot new. That means in is refers to this inner class memory. In this inner class memory, you are creating new memory for your reader class. Understand the thing? Memory inside a memory. Inside some space, you are creating or allocating some space to your reader class also. That is the thing. Right? Right. And I have to call this RD dot display one. Sorry, RD dot display one, then it shows an error, right? RD dot display. Why? Because RD refers to only this class. By using the RD, you can only access these things only. Okay? Right. Clear? Member inner class. This is how member outer classes we can call. Member outer class means this is one class outside the your main method. Okay? Next, static. We'll see the stat class. What I'll do, I'll comment it, or else do one thing, I'll comment it, or else okay, I'll comment for enter thing. Then it will be the good. Right. Now what I do, I have to place one public static void main. Right. One public static void main string args. In this I have to create one static class. Right. First I have to create one static class. Static suppose class, my static class name will be the util, suppose util one class. In this class I can create one static method. Suppose I'll go with the static void message or show is one method. It is a sysout of static class, static inner class. Okay, static inner class. Okay, static inner class. Fine. And now I am calling this here. Okay. If static methods are there, how can I call that static method, or static variables are there? How can I call that static methods? By using the class name, right? By using the class name. Simply here I can also use a inner class dot, suppose I have a static variable, I can call the static variable. Here I have the static class, right? So I can call the static class simply inner class dot util, and also in this I have a static method dot show. Understand? Suppose if I have the static variable, static int I equals to 10, then how can I call that? How can I call it? Inner class dot I, right? Inner class dot I. Suppose I can write it in a system.out.println. Suppose if I write like this, then I can call, right? Like this, it is a static class. So that static class also, by using the class name only, I can call. And this show is also a static class, static method. So I can call this by using this one. From to this to this. You have to observe this one, right? Suppose I don't have static method. If I have the normal method, inheritable method, right? Then how can I? Suppose if I have the static method, then I can simply call it. I don't have the static method. Void show one. Void show one of sys out static inner class with non-static method, right? Suppose you want to access the non-static method by using the objects only, it will possible. So I have to create a object for this firstly. How can I create object? Here is inner class dot util. Why? Because it is a static class, right? So inner class dot util. So suppose my class name will be the cd, okay, equals to new this entire thing, inner class dot util, the same thing what you seen before, but you are using the static class here. Right, right, right. Then I can simply call cd dot show one. Observe the thing, if static methods, then you can simply call this. If non-static methods, you are creating object first, then only you can call it. Understand? Right? Right? This is the way. Clear? Now we'll go with the other thing. That was, I'll comment this one also. I'll copy it. Public static void main strings. Local. Okay? Local. Local is nothing but a, if you are writing class under a method. Class under a method. Local scope means the variables or the methods in a method only, it will be called as local scope. So like that, if you are creating void, suppose void display, void display is one method. Fine. Void display is one method. In this method I can create a class. My class name will be the print. Okay. My class name will be the print. Okay. In this print I can create one method as a void void print receipt or print receipt, anything. Right. Sys out of a local class or local inner class. Okay, local inner class. Okay, okay, right. Right. And I have to create object for that. How can I create an object? Print pr equals to new print of. Okay, and you can call pr dot print receipt. Simplify. What you observe? What I am writing under this main method, I am writing in the method. Okay, it is the local scope. That means this pr scope only within this display method only you can access. Okay, right. Observe these methods carefully. Suppose if I want to call this print receipt, what I have to do? First I have to create a object for the inner class. Why? Because it is a non-static method. I have to call that, right? Inner class in equals to new inner class. Right? Okay, wait. New inner class in dot display. If you observe, I am calling the only non-static method here, but it will display that print receipt. We'll see that local inner class. That means this PR scope uses only this display range, this display method range only. This PR object can be accessible. Okay, right? This is the thing. Next, anonymous. One function is there, anonymous. Anonymous is nothing but like a interface. If you want to understand the anonymous classes, then you have to understand the interface concept. We'll see that anonymous class at that moment. That means usually you are overriding the actual content. That is the thing. We are see that anonymous classes. Anonymous class is nothing but a interface. Suppose how can I simply write here is I can comment it this one also. I can copy this one. I can simply create here interface. My class name will be the Anony. In this I can define one public display. Okay, I want to mention the return type here. Public void display. Okay. This one is called as abstract method. That means you are defining here, but implementation you can write somewhere else. It is an abstract method. It will called as a anonymous class. Sir, we are not writing any class as a keyword here. Here we are using interface. Then how can we call it as a class? By using the interfaces also you can create an class. These classes is called as abstract classes. Okay. By using the abstract keyword also you can create an abstract class. Interface also you can create. Okay. This is a different concept we will discuss at the time of abstraction. Public void display. Simply it is one anonymous class. I am creating the method here only, but I am creating object here. Anony an equals to new. Oh, sorry. Here the concept of inheritance has to be evolved. Okay. Anony extends anony. This is the entire thing. We have to mention that. Oh, sorry. There is a concept of extends and the implement. There are the two things. We'll see. Here I can mention that public display. Okay. And again it will throw an error. Why? Because I am not mentioning any return type. Okay. Public void display. In this I can write sysout of anonymous function definition, anonymous method definition or class definition. Right. How can I access this method? Simply I can create object for my inner class. For the anonymous classes you cannot create an object for the anonymous classes. You can't able to create. Right. In equals to new inner class. Right. And here the capital I. And we'll go with the in dot display. Clear. anonymous method definition. We are creating or defining the method here, define the functionality here. Here, what are the concepts involved is one thing, inheritance, okay, and anonymous class, and interface, and the thing of inheritance, anonymous class, and overriding. Why? Because display method is there. That display method functionality I am override here. Override concept is also there. This can be, you can better understand when your completion of OOPS concepts of inheritance, abstraction, and interfaces, and method overriding and method overloading. Then it will more understand to you. Now you have to understand it is one anonymous class. That anonymous classes, how can we access? The anonymous classes you can access by using this inheritance concept. Clear? That is the thing. This is the major introduction towards the classes and the types of classes we have. Tomorrow we will going to discuss the objects and the constructor types. Okay, and day after that we will go with the OOPS concepts of major plus, inheritance, abstraction, and encapsulation. Tomorrow we can start with the inheritance, a brief introduction, then go step by step. Okay, clear? Right? It is the thing. I hope if you want to get the more clarification, you can repeat it through the recording. Okay? Right. Thank you. This is end up with the session.